Good evening, everybody. New developments tonight in the land claim issue will tell you the latest move by the Oneidas of Wisconsin. Plus, the Department of Housing and Urban Development wants answers from Utica Community Action. News Channel 2 is next. Coming up next on News Channel 2, some movement tonight in the land claim issue. We'll bring you the latest information. Utica Community Action answers an audit from the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and a special conference talks about the environment in Antarctica. News Channel 2 is next. Stay up with us.
Where the news comes first. This is WKTV News Channel 2 with Bill Worden and Susan Tran. News Channel 2 at 11 begins now.
The violence in the Middle East continues, and tonight a local pollster reacts to how the president is handling the situation. And there is some local landowners that can breathe easier tonight. The reason why is tonight's top story on News Channel 2 at 11. Good evening. Bill and Susan are both on assignment tonight. There is new information regarding the land claim in Oneida and Madison County. The Wisconsin Oneidas, who have recently begun suing local landowners in retaliation of being left out of the settlement talks, say they will stop adding new names to their lawsuit list. Oneida County Executive Ralph Yennis says that in a meeting today in Syracuse, the Oneidas of Wisconsin promised to a judge that they would not sue any more individual landowners. They did not, however, promise to release any of the landowners who already have been served papers in the suit. Now, Yennis says this is a positive step that will hopefully prevent individual property owners from facing lawsuits, and that ongoing talks are the best route to head forward in.
We believe that that is the best possibility for a solution to this whole case in the nearer future.
Now, our Linda Locklear from the Wisconsin Oneidas told News Channel 2 that, quote, this is not a promise that no more suits will ever be filed. It's only an agreement to stay our hand while we litigate the pending motions to dismiss filed by 21 of the defendants that are already being sued. Well, moving on tonight, a 2-year audit by the Department of Housing and Urban Development is complete, and it's a final report that says the city of Utica must repay around $75,000. The audit cites about $21,000 for a parking lot behind the Adirondack Bank building. Housing and urban development monies were never approved for that lot. The city also owes nearly $54,000 for 2 properties where work was done and never documented. As part of the audit, HUD reviewed the city's intergovernment workings, and Mayor Tim Julian says he knows what to do to prevent any mismanagement of federal funds in the future. Well, the city wasn't the only one who had to answer to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Utica Community Action was also under their microscope. The audit revealed that the agency still has $90,000 of unaccounted for federal funds. They were funds that were intended for a series of land buys and environmental tests. The audit involves more than 100 parcels of land in the city. It gives the city the option to collect the money or land from the Utica Community Action or work out some kind of other deal. But no money has to be paid immediately.
HUD isn't saying anybody owes $90,000 at this point. It's saying that there are costs that are in question.
Why the city, as administrator, has the authority over subrecipients, such as Utica Community Action, to enforce.
Now, both parties have about a year to give the government the requested document. City officials say they want the issue resolved before then. Now to the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. The United States put pressure on Israel today to end its incursion into the West Bank and to put an immediate ceasefire in place. That while Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon said he'd allow U.S. envoy Anthony Zinni to meet with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. Pat Dawson reports tonight from Tel Aviv.
The Israeli army is now deployed across the West Bank. Thousands of troops engaged in street fighting and searches for the Palestinians they say are linked to the recent wave of terror here. They rolled into Hebron today with helicopters providing air cover for hundreds of troops and tanks. There is also fierce fighting described in the city of Nablus, where the Israelis moved in just yesterday. There does appear to be some diplomatic progress tonight. Both U.S. and Israeli sources say the Sharon government has reversed course and will allow Anthony Zinni, the American envoy here, to meet with Yasser Arafat. Indications are that the Sharon government, well knowing that pressure for a ceasefire would come soon from the Bush administration, were surprised that the president's appeal today left them so little wiggle room.
No doubt the United States want to play a more active role, and, you know, we welcome the United States coming.
The president calling for an immediate cessation of violence and also withdrawal of Israeli forces from the West Bank.
If Secretary of State Colin Powell comes here, I hope he's not coming just to prove his existence. He has to come with the will and with the intention of doing something serious.
There's been no change in the volatile situation around Bethlehem. The standoff at the Church of the Nativity continues there. Palestinian forces inside the church say Israeli forces blew open a door to the church courtyard and then fired inside. Counter charges from the Israelis that they have received sporadic fire from inside the church grounds, but are not returning fire given the religious significance of the church. Negotiations are still continuing about that standoff, as they have now for 24 hours. Pat Dawson, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
So what do Americans think of how the president is handling the situation in the Middle East? Local pollster John Zogby says President Bush has been perceived as being too one-sided in his approach to the problems in the Middle East. Today, Bush announced that Secretary of State Colin Powell will go to the Middle East and try and help out, as we just showed you. And Zogby says that's a good approach.
That what he's doing today is exactly what needs to be done. He's sending Colin Powell over. The United States is the only superpower in the world, and as a superpower, it also recognizes that it has interests on both sides.
Zogby also says Americans can understand the Palestinians fight for a country of their own based on our own struggle for independence. Well, checking some of tomorrow's headlines tonight, Oneida County legislator Neil C. Angel has two daughters working in the county comptroller's office. The two make a combined salary of $97,000. Find out more about the disclosure statement the legislature submitted in tomorrow's paper. Plus, Celebrating Our Journeys is the first of multiple exhibits planned by the Oneida County Historical Society to highlight the rich ethnic heritage of the Mohawk Valley. Those stories and more in tomorrow's edition of the Observer Dispatch. Well, we have much more ahead tonight, including the second part of our important consumer report on the dangers of a chemical involved with acrylic nails. Tonight, we give you some important tips on how to find out if your technician is going about taking care of you the right way. And after the break, scientists from all over the world are meeting at Hamilton College. We'll tell you what they were talking about when we come back.
And in weather, while today was kind of cloudy with some breaks of sun, we saw the occasional snow showers. We've been seeing occasional snow showers tonight, and you see them on the radar behind me. As a matter of fact, they're throughout Rome, throughout Utica. But we'll take a quick little dive into the city of Utica and see what's happening. Most of us seeing some light snow showers right now, but that's about it. 29 degrees with light snow showers at the county airport and maybe in your backyard. You're watching News Channel 2 at 11. We'll be back.
Well, recently, a huge chunk of the ice shelf that is Antarctica broke off, causing scientists from all over the world to be concerned about the environmental changes in the region. Today, many of those same scientists are in Clinton for a special conference at Hamilton College. It's sponsored by the National Science Foundation, Colgate University, and Hamilton's Environmental Studies program. A group from the college recently returned from a 2-month-long expedition to Antarctica. They say there is a need for this workshop because of the significant environmental changes now taking place in the Antarctic Peninsula region.
This is so spectacular because it's very rapid. It happened, the Larsen B event, it happened in 41 days. Larsen A, it happened also in 41 days. The difference is, or 39 days, say 2 days less. But we had 1,600 square kilometers broken in the same time, then a double on the Larsen B.
The 3-day workshop will conclude tomorrow. Well, gas prices are once again spiraling skyward, and the summer driving season isn't even close. Experts say a number of things point to things only getting worse. AAA is blaming tensions in the Middle East for a 30% jump in crude oil prices since the first of the year. We are paying less right now than we were 1 year ago, but this was also the last time we began the worst spike ever in gas prices.
By May 29th, it was $1.72 a gallon, which was the record, all-time record for here. So gasoline took a real big jump last year in that time span. Will it happen again? I think the jury's out, and it's too early to tell.
Now, some perspective for you right now in Utica. The average price of gas is $1.40 a gallon. Just 1 month ago, it was $1.19 a gallon, but a year ago today, it was $1.49 a gallon. Well, the cold temperatures make it easy to forget how nice it was last weekend. Are we in store for more, or could things warm up? Matt has your forecast when we come back. You're watching News Channel 2 at 11.
Tonight's weather is brought to you in part by Walmart. Now, SkyWatch Weather with meteorologist Matt DiNardo.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Today, kind of a mixed up day. We saw some clouds, saw some sunshine, and also had the occasional snow showers. The nice thing, no real accumulation across most of central New York. Some of the higher elevations far in the North Country did pick up about an inch, but that melted throughout the day as well. Still seeing snow showers right now, and on the radar we can show those to you. Many of them throughout Oneida County, and then in the higher elevations as we work our way northward into the North Country. Want to quickly zoom on in and see exactly what's going on throughout Utica to Rome along Route 365, Route 12 and 8. You're seeing some light snow showers as well. And even as we go Route 5 out toward Kirkland, some of the throughways, some light snow showers. Not a real big deal by any stretch of the imagination. And we'll zoom in one more time and noticing the city of Utica, actually, along Genesee Street, along the arterial, the heaviest of the snow showers that are around are basically around Floyd and Marcy right now. Again, no real accumulation should be expected, folks, and that is some good news. Outside we go. Current temperature holding in at 29 degrees with light snow showers across the region. 21's your dew point. The wind is calm. Our high today made it all the way up to 36. This morning's low is now our current temperature of 29. Skywatch is checking in this evening from the local area. Not too bad at all. We're looking at many of you in the mid-20s up in New Hartford, 31 over in Ilion, and looking at 26 degrees out by Old Forge, about an inch up there as well. Vernon Center checking in tonight, one of the cooler spots at 20. On the satellite picture, the clouds are trying to clear, which is good news. We'll get cooler temperatures with that, unfortunately. However, our next weather system is this guy moving closer to us. It could bring in more clouds for tomorrow and some scattered snow showers by the afternoon. So again, mainly clear skies will work back in tonight. Increasing clouds throughout the daytime tomorrow. Hit or miss snow showers throughout the daytime tomorrow as well, especially in the afternoon and evening. Then the bulk of that system should pass to the south early Saturday morning, allowing for the clear skies to move back in and making way for at least somewhat of a decent weekend. Here's your forecast then. For the overnight, we'll call it a few snow showers through our midnight, maybe another hour or two, and then we'll see sunshine break out by tomorrow morning. The sunshine continuing out throughout the entire daytime tomorrow. Late day snow showers, an eventual high of 38. 16 tonight in Camden, 17 in Rome, and also in Oriskany. Working your way toward Utica, you'll find many of your temperatures in the mid to upper teens tonight. We go closer to the valley locations, we'll be finding your temperatures in the mid-teens from Mohawk to Frankfort, Ilion, and Herkimer. And as we work toward the eastern half of the Mohawk Valley, 12 in Little Falls tonight, a chilly one there to say the least. Sunshine early tomorrow to fade behind clouds with snow showers across the region. Many of you in the mid to upper 30s throughout the valley and eastern half of the valley. Close to 40 in Whitesboro and New Hartford. And finally out by Rome, we'll see the temperatures in the upper 30s for your afternoon highs. Camden a bit cooler as you would expect with highs in the mid 30s. Now here's a look at that 5-day forecast. And again, we do look for improvement over the weekend with sunshine breaking out on Saturday and warmer temperatures come Sunday. Back to normal come Monday. Unfortunately, it looks like more rain showers are back in by Tuesday.
Well, we do need the rain, right?
Yeah, we're still in a major deficit of about 7 inches dating back to last July. We just don't want to get it all at one time. And we'd like to get some nice warm temperatures in here as well.
I just assume get it all out of the way now so that when the summer comes around, we can have nice sunny days every day of the week.
You think ahead, don't you?
Well, I like to think so.
There you go.
All right, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Well, still ahead, our special report on the dangers of chemicals used for acrylic nails. We'll tell you what to look out for. And in sports, the Yankees are in action tonight with the Orioles, and a recent acquisition who wasn't expected to be that much of an impact player is proving his critics wrong. Tom Coyne has his story when we come back.
Now, News Channel 2 Sports with Tom Coyne.
Thursday is traditionally a day of the week, and today it was a busy day in sports. That means we got to move along. In fact, we're all going to move right now to Camden Yard, which is not near Rome. Scoreless game in the fourth inning. There are two Yankees on board, and Robin Ventura, a better-than-average journeyman, hits his second of the season, only half the total of Barry Bonds. In the fifth, Nick Johnson of the Yankees will get his first of the season. Mike Mussina gets the win. Rivera, his second save. 4-1. The Yanks beat the Birds. In other action in the American League, Tampa beat the Tigers 9-2. The Blue Jays beat the Twins. The Rangers held off the A's 7-5. Now this afternoon at Shea, the Mets got off to a good start against Pittsburgh. That's Joe McEwing with a lead-off home run. There's a problem, however. Despite the fact that the Big Apple will come up and shine for all, Kevin Young will come up in the next inning with a man on board. That's even more important. He'll hit the two-run homer right there. Jeremy Burnett's soloed for the Mets also to give them a shot, but in the ninth, the big boys of Alomar, Vaughn, and Piazza went out in order. Now, if the world field's a little weird tonight, folks, it's because the Pirates have a winning record for the first time in 2.5 years. Other National League games, Houston beat the Brewers, the Marlins shut out the Expos, Colorado beat the Cards 6-1. The season and playoff opportunities are winding down. The Rangers went to Toronto tonight to play the Leafs, who know they're playing past this regular season. I show you this first off. It's a nice save by a former Utica Devil. Corey Schwab is the guy who gets caught in between on this breakaway by the Rangers' Barnaby. But Schwab recovers nicely and stops the puck. Pavel Bure and Eric Lindros scored in the first. McGillney and Renberg tallied for Toronto. But the Rangers got another goal from Bure, and Barnaby finally did get one into the net, putting gravy on it. 4-2, the Rangers win. In Boston, the Bruins know they're in their playoff bound. The Islanders hanging on. Garth Snow got a lot of work tonight, which is not good news, but he did make 39 saves. Islanders win in overtime on the goal that's coming up by Oleg Kvashka. It's not the prettiest goal in the world, but it does give the Islanders 90 points on the season and strengthens their playoff hopes. On now to the big one out in St. Paul. In the Frozen Four college hockey NCAA, Maine lost their coach, Sean Walsh, to cancer the day before the first practice of the season. The Black Bears' emotional run continues as they got 2 second-period goals by their captain, Peter Metcalf, and cruised to a 7-2 win over New Hampshire. In the other summit tonight, Minnesota used their home ice advantage in St. Paul to get a 3-2 win over Michigan. The Gophers were in control, but a fluke goal with a minute and a half left made it a one-goal game. It stayed that way. The title game is on Saturday. In NBA play, the Knicks are just playing it out. A season to forget, but we can't forget the fact that the Knicks are in Portland right now. Scottie Pippen. You know, Phil Jackson recently badmouthed Michael Jordan about being a shadow of his former MJ-ness. What does the former Bulls guru think of his other star pupil? Look at him, he's 63 years old, Scottie Pippen. Anyways, at the half, it's Portland up by 12, leading it over the Knicks. Junior college lacrosse, the nation's second-ranked team showed why they are so honored as HCCC beat MVCC 29-1. Kyle Moniker had 6 assists for the Generals. Jason Simo from Whitesboro had a hat trick. And if you like lacrosse, you got to mark this date, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock. It's the number 2 Generals against the nation's number 3 team, Essex. These two teams met in the playoffs last year. Essex edged them out. It was a great game.
Yeah, they've gone back a number of times. Yeah. You know, you said at the beginning that Camden Yard isn't by Rome, but there is a baseball field in Camden that they call Camden Yard. Do you like that?
What do they call the field up in Camden? Baltimore Park?
All right. I shouldn't have got into a debate like that with you. Well, if you get your nails done or someone you love does, stay with us through the break. Susan Tran has part 2 of her special consumer report on a dangerous chemical that you need to be aware of. Well, a trip to the nail salon could be costing your health. Tonight in part 2 of our story, we'll tell you how to detect if a dangerous substance is being used and how to find out if your nail technician is licensed. Here's Susan Tran with photojournalist Chris Walsh.
Women get acrylic nails for a litany of reasons.
I'm a nail biter.
Polish stays on.
I can't grow my own nails.
It's a luxury. You can go 2 to 3 weeks for a fill without worrying about polish chipping, cracking, and they like the convenience.
But for something that will be glued on, then glazed over with an acrylic overlay, you as a buyer need to beware. Recently, the State Division of Licensing issued this advisory banning the use of methyl methacrylate, MMA, for artificial nails.
MMA forms an artificial nail which is very rigid. And what happens is that if you tap your nail or bang it and the nail rips, it can take your nail and nail bed with it.
So how can you look past all the products and find out if your nails are getting the right treatment? Here's what to look for. Acrylic nails made with MMA are more difficult to remove. The fumes are overwhelming with a sharp, fruity odor. The price for a set of nails is very inexpensive, since the acrylic liquid with MMA cost $15 a gallon, while the product with EMA cost $250 a gallon.
So you would look to price, you would ask the proprietor, and finally, one thing you may do is to ask to take a look at what are called material safety data sheets.
Lisa Fici at the nail spa wants her customers to be informed.
These are material safety data sheets, and they give every single product that you use on them, from your polish remover to your acrylics to your Band-Aids to your polish, everything.
And there's even more you can do to scrub away the doubt. Check to see if your nail salon is licensed. Then check to see if your technician is licensed.
To do that, go to the state's Division of Licensing website. Then you click on the link to search for licensees. You scroll down and then you can either enter an ID number, a name, or a business. You enter the appropriate information and a license number should pop up. Or you can call the Division of Licensing's customer service representative. The number to call is 1-518-474-4429.
It's a few easy steps you can do to make sure your new set of nails aren't costing you your health.
I never knew about it until I came here.
Susan Tran.
Once I found out, I never went anywhere else.
News Channel 2.
Now, to date, there are no official findings of MMA use. However, the State Division of Licensing is actively investigating several complaints. Elsewhere tonight, an Indiana woman who became pregnant after she thought she'd been sterilized now wants her doctor to pay her child-rearing costs. She's asking that the doctor cover the child's expenses through college, but defense attorneys say that the doctor should not have to pay for the woman's decision to go ahead and have the baby. Now, back in July, the state appeals court sided with the mother in a 3-0 decision. Now, unless the Supreme Court overturns that, Indiana would become the 5th state to grant parents who underwent sterilization the right to sue doctors for the costs of raising an unexpected child. Well, stamp collectors, stay with us. We'll tell you why this stamp you're about to see is special when News Channel 2 at 11 returns. Finally, tonight, stamp collectors that love New York are now in luck. The United States Postal Service unveiled its commemorative state stamp that looks like this one for New York. Each state bears a design unique to the state, and New York has Lady Liberty, as you see there, and the New York skyline. It also has a little bit of Niagara Falls. And Matt, quickly, what we can expect tomorrow morning?
Unfortunately, tomorrow morning we'll start off with sunshine, but showers of snow will move in later in the day.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight at 11. Have a great day, everybody.